Hi guys, it's Yumi. So today I thought we would make a traveling art journal kit. You can add as many or as little things as you want. Hopefully this will give you ideas and inspiration. I recently got these at a yard sale. It was a guy he used to sell on Amazon. So he had a lot of things left over and he had these on sale, which are little organized pouches. I will have a link to something similar that I found on Amazon. They were $4 originally, but he was selling everything, so he wanted to get rid of them, so he actually made them $2. So I got 2 sets of these. But I thought, what a great way to have a travel journal or a little travel kit for my art journaling. So really fun. And it's a little bit protected. I usually carry around a tote bag or a backpack. And I'll show you guys what that looks like in another video. I altered that also, but I just really love it. I think it's awesome. So they come in 3 different sizes. I don't know if I'll use all of them, but we'll kind of see. We'll stuff everything and see how it goes. So for the first one, I'm going to stuff it with my, well, not stuff it, I'm going to put in my journal. So this is a journal that I've been taking around with me. It's a journal that I did with my students. Isn't that an ugly face? And I love it. I was just playing around, and yeah, so it has a lot of really cool pages in it that I absolutely love, but there's a few pages that need to be filled up, so I'm going to designate this my travel journal. And if you want to learn how to make these journals, I will link the video on how I made them. They're super simple to make. Okay, so I'm going to stick that in there first, and I like having these kind of small journals that you can just stick and take with you, and it doesn't take that long to create with, so we're going to stick that in there too. Now I made this, it's a Flourish Journal, so it's filled with ephemera and papers and things that I can use. There's just signatures in there with elastic. I did a process video on it. I didn't show it step by step, so if you guys want to learn how to make this step by step in real time, just let me know and I will create a video for you guys. But it's really cool. I love it. It's just full of inspiration and things that I love. Like there's script here, Japanese script, and a little bit of like images and that kind of thing. Lots of vintage book pages, some comics, painted paper, security envelopes. There's different weights of paper here. So matte paper, all sorts of scrapbooking paper, you know, even telephone books. So it's really fun. So I'm going to stick that in here also in this one. If you didn't want to do that, what you could do is just use one of these little guys and just stuff it with paper scraps, right? So I can just grab, I always have a ton of paper scraps hanging around. Because it's a travel journal, you're not supposed to have everything in your arsenal, right? So I could just like fold this stuff up and just stick it into also one of those little envelopes too. One of these little pouches. Okay. Alright. So the next pouch that we'll fill up, I have these 2 left. But I really like having those Flourish ones. I think I'm going to start selling like a version of those. I know they're super popular, but it might be fun to make my own kind of version. Is that I love to have just supplies, very simple supplies that I love to use over and over again, where I know that I can make a simple art journal page. One of them is my Crayola watercolors. You can use any kind of traveling kit that you want. Crayolas work really, really well. I mean, the color's pretty good. Some of them you can't even tell from expensive pigment, so I'm not like a watercolor snob. I use it for backgrounds and to draw flowers and that kind of thing, and it's fine. It's for my travel journal, so it's not like it has to be anything fancy, but I'll stick that in there too. Alrighty. And then I also like having some watercolor crowns, so we'll stick a there in there. And these are more pigmented. These are Faber Castel, and I will link everything below that I'm using, or something equivalent to it. And they're really vivid, beautiful colors, and they're fun to have because you can just scribble with them. You could also use gelatos too, and I will link that below. You just want something that's very easy for you to use for this process. Now, as far as paints, I'm going to use my Deco Arts Americana acrylic paints. I have 3 colors here. Every month I kind of choose a color palette that I want to work in. So this is the color palette for this month. And I really love that yellow can be both warm and cool, so I wanted to experiment a little bit, right? So if I mix those together, I'll get a really pretty green. If I mix these together, I'll get an orangey kind of color. So it's really fun to mix them, and you don't need a ton of colors to create beautiful art, or to even make a lot of colors in your journal. So these will be my colors for the month, along with the watercolor and the crowns too. So this is Deco Arts Americana in Dragon Fruit, and I have Deco Arts Americana in Pineapple, and I have Deco Arts Americana Acrylic Paint in Bahama Blue. And these are really beautiful pigmented paints. I love them. I have made videos and videos about them. They're definitely my favorite to go to. They're my go-to ones. Okay, so also I like to take my Deco Arts Deco Page glue, and I actually poured into these small little Tupperware containers. You can get them at the dollar store. They do also sell them on Amazon, but they're really nice for short-term kind of putting in your paints and your mediums and that kind of thing in these containers. You can even mark it if you want. I usually don't do that, so I'm going to stick that in there. I also love gesso, so I have the Deco Arts Media White Gesso. And let's just quickly decant just a little bit of that. I usually don't take a lot of gesso with me, but just a little bit. But this gesso is so smooth and beautiful. It works really, really well. Okay, so let's kind of stick that in there. And that'll get used up pretty quick. And we'll stick that in there if we can. Let's see if I can get it in there. Just like that. Alrighty, and then I want to put in a glue stick also. Any kind of glue stick. I'm not a glue stick snob. I just use more of it if it's like a cheap glue stick. This is from the dollar store. Elmer's Extreme is really good though. I love Elmer's glue sticks. They work really, really well. So do the King Super brand ones. They work great too. So it's up to you. Again, I will link my favorites below so you can see them. So that's all set up and ready to go. Now in this last one, we are going to add in a couple more things. So I like to take a spray bottle. Usually I do not fill it up. You can get these super cheap on Amazon. I use them all the time in my classes and they work very, very well. So we'll dip those up and stick those in here. Stick that in there. And then I need some pens, right? But before we do that, let's do some paintbrushes. This is just a water brush, a round one, very easy. You just fill it up with water and then you can activate it. So that's really cool. We'll stick that in there. That's kind of very convenient to have. You could also just stick some regular paintbrushes into your little bag too, which I will do. So I have just, these are plaid. So I have like, their little sets that they have, which are nice. And then I have a Martha Stewart brush too. So I have an angle, a round, and a flat. And I don't care. I'll use them between mediums. It doesn't make me a difference. Again, this is just about journaling and having a great time when you're on the road. So, you know, if I was at my studio, of course, I would probably be a little bit more finicky, and I have special brushes for watercolor and ones for acrylic too. But we'll just kind of do those in an angle. I don't want to ruin the bristles, so I'm not going to fiddle with it too much. Very good. Okay, so we'll stick that in there and that in there. And finally, let's do some pens and pencils and that kind of thing. So I always have a number 2 pencil just for sketching or something like that. So we can stick that in there. And then I have a jelly roll pen. I know that people love the Signo, Uni-Ball Signos. I mostly cannot get those to work. They're very frustrating for me. So I usually use a jelly roll or even a white paint pen. So that's just my preference. And Posca pens are great paint pens, so I will use those. I've kind of over Signo because I've ordered like 2 or 3 packs and they just haven't worked out. So I think that's a sign that I'm getting it from a bad seller or something's going on. And then this is the La Pen, and it's permanent. These are super cheap. You can get them at Hobby Lobby and also online, but they work really, really well. They're alcohol based ink and they're especially designed for journaling, and they come in a bunch of different nibs too. So I love these pens. They're super cheap. Like you can get a whole 3-pack and they last for a long time. It's a really good product and they pretty much write over anything. You can get them so cheap for like $5 for a whole pack. And if you use your 40% off coupon, you are cool beans. And then I also have a thinner one, right? Because that's a thicker line, kind of like a marker, but thicker. And then this is a small one. So this is my Faber Castel Pitt artist pen, which are also really beautiful pens, much more expensive. And this is the small nib. So I want kind of a medium and a small. Just to give myself a little bit of variety. And then this is just a permanent marker that I have that I need to get rid of evidently because it's not very luscious, as I would say. So that's my art kit, guys, and I really love it. I hope that it inspires you. I mean, it's light things, like I'm not bringing my whole kitchen sink here, but it's just fun to kind of take this stuff around. I will probably add a sketchbook to this too. I really love having a sketchbook, and if I take it with me, I'm more prone to draw in it, which I think is really cool. And I really want to make a mixed paper sketchbook that's not for paint or anything like that, but it's just for like scribbling and making marks and doing sketches in kind of a mixed book. So you guys let me know if you want to see a video about that too. So really easy. These stack up really nicely. I can totally put them in my tote bags. I can take them when I'm hanging out with my friends, and it's really fun and super simple. I can add stuff, so if I want to add maybe a thing of images or something, I can stick those here, or stickers or anything like that. I can just, you know, get a little pocket and stick those in here. I have tons of room in all of these things, so really fun. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you guys later. I'd love to know what you have in your art journaling kit for when you're out and about, your traveling art journal kit, or your traveling artist kit, or whatever you want to call it. I'd love to see what you have. So I hope that this inspires you, and I hope that you go out and make your own little kit. And I will show you the tote bag that I made, and maybe I'll make one on camera, because I think that if you have all this wonderful art supplies, people should know you're an artist, and you should have a totally cool, painted, gorgeous bag to go along with it. Okay guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.